first of all, in the first place, they made them together. The two of them together made the decision in agreement from the beginning, making the evil necessary. Yes, and this is the account. This is the explanation. No matter where you turn, or rather, in sequence. Eventually, rather. This is the eventual. This is the current acceptance for anyone satisfied with this answer. It was them two together anyway, to begin with, right? As far as necessary evil goes, as far as there only being so many places or directions to go, so many places to turn, so many options to choose when it comes to your position, when it comes to your contribution and your decision. You can't choose what's not possible. However, you can choose to make what's possible, to make something possible. And one thing that is a fact, that is true, that is reality, is that nothing is impossible. You may not understand the steps it take to bring it into a closer reality to you, to a more touchable, to a more closer reference, proximity to you in your life and the rest of your decisions and actions. But just because it's not something that you are associated or experienced with doesn't make it impossible, right? It's way more far-fetched to assume something to be true that you haven't made true yourself, right? And even in accepting something to be true that it is that you have not chosen makes it more true than it actually even is. It's diverting and rerouting the power. It's said that because of this particular first sin, which that's what evil would be. That's how evil would manifest in the very possibility of anything incorrect. Yes? Because what is incorrect? It's not purpose. It's not right. Yes? It's not natural. I won't say not natural, but it's not positive. Right? It's not productive. It's not progressive. It's actually destructive, right? And reversing, over time, just like with drug usage, right? Sure, you get a rush, you get a high, you get a buzz, you get a boost, right? Over time, though, right? I mean, for those who make it past 21, make it into their mid-age, which is a miracle in itself. For the average fast liver, I'm not against thrill. I'm not against thrill, right? Which that's trill with an H, yes. I'm not. However, I am all for real though. Okay, and that's also part of the trill, which is true and real. And it's false to chase a high as opposed to be the high. That's fake and temporary. That's also incomplete. I'm never about no incompleteness. right? And if it's going to be done, then it should be real. And if it's going to be real, then that means it has to be finished. It can't be nothing if it ain't complete. It's in between whatever else other it would be or was, if anything. Yes, and that's where we find ourselves, in between, right? That's what they say, between the ideal pre-fall state and on our way back to being eligible to connect with that unblemished version of ourselves, yes, or with that replenished version of ourselves, yes, as in forgiven, as in exalted and what is it called, absolved, yes, uh, liberated as well as vindicated and redeemed. Mm? That's what this life is. That's what this entire life experience is supposed to be, in one sense, and that's where the conversation and the debate even stems from, as far as what is it that you're deciding in your choices? What is it that you're choosing in your decisions overall, as in the complete sequence of your life, however short or long it may be? Yes, it's gonna be an accumulation of those moments. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I said, I'm not against nothing, but you can't do nothing. If you're gonna do something, it has to be complete to begin with. Otherwise, you end up having to do it over. And if you're not doing it all the way for the first time, then really, what does all that involve? What all does that involve? And that's some more trickery that we catch ourselves tangled up in, because we already might have made decisions based on our acceptance of this fake ass shit, for one. And if you haven't, then that means that you're going based on your own law. Not based on your own law, but you're not relinquishing your sovereignty, right? Your own godliness, to a certain extent, your own right, and and sovereignty, right? Your own authority. Yes. Even in following whatever rules, even in respecting whatever sorts of code or structured fucking requirements, yes, or what is called protocol, right? What is called when you follow a standard, yes. When you subscribe to whatever sorts of instruction and institution, that's what you're going to be doing inadvertently in whatever it is that you are performing. Now, for you to say I'm performing this because of my allegiance to this particular authority, then that's a whole nother thing. Not necessarily a different thing, but it's an additional aspect of it. Okay? It's really an excuse to begin with, because no matter what you're going to be doing, it can go either way. But you're already, even in doing that, to even have to say it to anybody else, you're already subscribing to a false ass, fake ass, backwards ass fucking structure. To have to say some shit about why you're doing some shit to begin with. Who was there to even question your actions? Other than the police, once you done got caught for committing a crime. And if they bump you up and ask you something about you tell them, I don't subscribe to your jurisdiction. Right? I'm my own sovereign. I'm a nation born in myself. These borders don't apply to me. Why? Because that's not something that I agree to as a God on earth. Just like they say the Pope is, yes, what make the Pope a God on earth? The same thing that make you a pope is you claiming to be one. under whatever structure. And all this land belonged to the Vatican, at least it did, but the Pope signed that over at this point. Why? Because even the Pope now don't know the code, don't know the actual law, don't even know how he got to how he got to where he is in his own life. That go for everybody. That's what I'm saying. For you to be saying anything to anybody, for you to be proving anything, is irrelevant. At the end of the day, they're not going to be at them gates with you. That's going to be between you and your creator. So that's what it should be. That's where it should stay at. As far as what's necessary and what's unnecessary. What's useful, what's applicable, what is fucking beneficial, positive or negative, it's contingent. It's all related and dependent upon particular conditions of where time has led us and has us at. Right? What different men in their lifetimes, however long or short, allowed to happen or perpetuated or set in motion through their connections and submission, okay, through their acceptance of outer power, yes, of the illusion of power, yeah. When that's limited, right? Limited to lifetimes, limited to moments and time in itself, not just only just lifetime, nigga, into the very down to the minute, down to the day, right? But that's only half of it. That's only one part of it, and so it's incomplete. And so when I say it may have started off as necessary, it's not designed to remain necessary. It should have never even been accepted as necessary, but other unnatural elements applied to the benefit of seeing it as necessary, at least until we could see how unnecessary the bitch ass shit is. Undeniably, for whatever reason, it was questioned to begin with. Because even if you know within your heart, if it's not something that you accept, then it's going to conflict with your own self, regardless of whoever else is connected to you and you connect yourself to. Now, the masters, now, the anointed, the elite, right, the chosen, the original, right, unspoken, care about you even if you don't care about yourself. Why? Because they can. And it's a reason that anything is possible. It's a purpose for everything. Okay? As far as power goes, peace, passion, right? Because all is love. Yes, and another one thing about that is love is powerful. Like I said, any moment of real love is worth all life and every life forever. Yes. If you could trade your life for a moment of real love, you would do it without choosing it. You would choose that without realizing it. Because what would your life mean without that one moment to refer it to? and and let alone at least that one moment expand it into other experiences. It's all going to come back to its comparison in equivalent to that point of knowing, point of realization, that point of authentic life. Yes, that's what you walk around mad for, no? Because of the lack of, no? Because of something that's missing or that you feel is unfair. That's where anger comes from. Anytime you're gonna be angry is because you feel you see something that's unfair, right? But that's the whole situation about love. Love is unconditional. You know what I'm saying? It's not based on or any sorts of return or exchange or reward. Okay? It is sacrificing itself. You know, it's looking to be able to give yourself. Yes, even in receiving love, it's so that you can do what? That you can experience the feeling of being appreciated. Right? To be appreciated means that you are received as whatever one thing or the next, yes? Now, hopefully, whatever love that it is that you are associating yourself with is most complete. Otherwise, you're going to be trapped in the idea of whatever it is that you are agreeing to when it comes to that. And that's the whole risks as far as the very magnitude, the very propensity, the potential, you know what I'm saying, of that power, of that purity, yes? Because you got defilement, yes? Yes? So what's the opposite of purity? You know what I'm saying? It's wretched. It's fucking motherfucking taint is what it is. Right? Tainted love. Tainted love. Such a sun. Okay, I'm gonna go play that song. Oh, my internet down and shit. No, when it comes to that, it's like you gotta be able to live a life to where, because in this world, right, as far as the situation, that's what people are, that's what the average individual is running from. All those moments of truth, you know, that confrontation with the all possible. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to stop somewhere. It's so, everything is so limited. Everything around us is more inclined to limitations. Why? Because control. You want to be able to say what it's going to be or what you can get out of it. When it's not about, first of all, getting anything out of it. It's about giving. Right? Because even in whatever it is that you're getting, right? Who's getting it? Who's experiencing it? Right? The idea of yourself, no? And yourself is what? Something, no? So what if yourself is getting that, then where's it coming from? Something other than yourself? Well, see, that's the point. Ain't shit else other than yourself. All is the same thing. All is God. Yeah, we all each gods. God is everything and everywhere, right? It's not one person, but it's not one person. It's all persons and people and beings. No, God is existence, and in that sense, God is each existence. Yes, this is the facts. If you look at it any way different than that, then that's why you end up in trouble. That's why you end up trying to make whatever work. That's how you end up desperately chasing thrills for the moment, right? when no matter what happens with your soul, that's eternal. And that has its own process, right? Through this whole retribution, redemption mode, right? Either way, whatever it is, it's definitely a process. It's definitely a system to it. There's definitely a sequence to follow. And it has to do with fuller, completer steps each time. Not some for now, right? Because that's automatically going to be happening. Whatever is for now is going to be for now, regardless if it's lasting or fleeting, if it's fast or not, if it's fast or fucking complete, you know? Right? It's like when you approach it in a way to where it is you're doing more than what you can do, doing what you haven't done. You may not be right, but then by the next, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna know for nigga the next moment, as opposed to feeling like you know, or feeling like you can't know, or feeling like it don't matter, and so making it not matter for other people. Right? If it was just you, then it'd just be you. But it ain't just you, and that's what it is. That's the whole conundrum. That's the whole paradigm when it comes to the darkness and the light, the necessary darkness, the necessary light, the unnecessary light. Right? That's laws in place that don't serve all of humanity. That's unnecessary light. Law is good, you know what I'm saying? Structure is good, but a corrupted structure is evil because it's in a place of something instead of what it should be. However, that in itself sometimes is necessary, right? The necessary unnecessariness, and that's how the light could be dark. Yes, right? Because if you got the unnecessariness in the light, it's in the light. You can't tell. It's the light. It represents necessary, right? And it represents you know, positive. Basically, it's always positive and negative. There's nothing wrong with positive and negative. That's just like you got the necessary evil, right? That's the pure negative. You know, what's a necessary evil? Shit, what you see. Us having to get to where back to that light is that necessary evil. The process, the ups and downs, the ins and outs. It's structured. It's principle. It's quality. It's sacred. But it's things related to that are not completely factored. You know, that's actually less than worthy of your time. Okay, of the process that it takes towards the fuller correction. You know, and it's only even possible because of um, because of the element of you know of fake, basically, you know, of imitation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. It's only possible because of the what's another word for fake? Okay? Other than imitation, temporary is another word, right? When that's not even supposed to be possible, right? And why is it possible? And why is it even most possible? Is because, of course, that's what's on your mind. That's what we have in mind the whole time, from beginning. Okay, you can, you know what I mean, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah, okay, but what is it that you can do? What is it that you are doing? Okay, what is it? How to do that more, right? And if there's a limit to what it is that you're doing that you can do more of, then you probably should do something in addition to that, simultaneously, to where you can handle both. Because if you can't handle both, then one is going to trump the other one. And you don't want it to be what's constricting. I mean, just realistically speaking, you can live in a whole fantasy ass hallucination if you want. Just don't let that shit spill out to whoever else in whatever emotions that you feeling, right? And that's the only situation that we find ourselves in. It's fucked up because you deserve love. You are love, but that love is real. It ain't fake. It ain't fast. So, you know what I mean? You gotta live a life now to where you can't even mix that shit the fuck up at this point. You gotta be a type of person who does not love and is not loved, right? They say the greatest lesson to learn is to love and to be loved in return. You know, they say the world should be your time in this world is just a time, is just the bridge, right? It's in preparation for the next world, and all that we can do here is love and be loved. That's not even happening how it deserves to happen, right? You got to be the type of nigga who can be unloved, right? To make up for to make up, you know what I mean? To answer the imbalance. And that in itself, being that love is that universal and that pure, and that in itself is powerful. Okay? Right? I mean, my true players know what I'm saying. Is you the player, then you hear what I'm saying to you. But just don't get caught up in the mix. Young player feeling like that's part of anything that it's not part of. It's not even part of the shit. It's just the outer realm to keep whoever's not nigga preparing themselves, nigga, with the right perspective from falling victim to this system, right? This system of temporary, this system of imitation. I'm trying to think of another word for fake. So you got fucking what's another word for fake, man? You know what I'm saying? Illusionary. You know what I mean? Feeling like something exists that don't. You know what I mean? Giving more attention to something that is not even purpose. That's less than worthy of your energy. You know, it's the reversal of energy. It's energy turned against itself. Right? That's what you call motherfucking. You know what I mean? That's nigga. What do you call not? I won't say destruction. What's energy turned against itself? Okay, that's light in itself. They say light is actually darkness folded in itself. That's where light comes from. Okay? Because nigga, you look around, there's more darkness than it is light. They say that the light itself come from up out of the darkness. So light is darkness folded on itself, right? But light is energy at the same time, though, right? So when you turn light against light, you know, I said energy. There's life beyond just energy, cause okay, there is power beyond just energy, my nigga. Right? Energy is what we refer to as, in this particular dimension, this realm, universe, brother. But that light comes from another place outside of this dimension, okay? And light is energy. That's all what we call energy, okay? Yeah, but there's levels above just energy, okay? And how is it possible? Shit, nigga, it's definitely more impossible every day we go, nigga. Not keeping that in mind, not having that in mind, in the back of our mind. Because that's something I ain't even got to think about. That's something you feel, but until you make yourself numb to it, until you start ignoring it more than it is and turning it against itself, basically. Accepting some shit. right? Signing up for so whatever sort of institution, so whatever sorts of association. Yes, you know what I mean. Your what I said. This is your not allegiance, but um, agreements basically. And it's hard because like, what can you do? Well, shit, nigga, you gotta think. Nigga. You gotta figure out what you can do as far as that has a fuller effect, whatever that means, right? Because like I said, the odds are against you. There has been this evil that has been allowed to fucking nigga permeate, but that was for a place, that was for a time, right? To show you the difference, to show you the reality undeniably as to where to keep your energy redeeming itself as opposed to working, turning your energy against itself. Yes. Because when it comes down to it, it's either that or it's not. What they say it is or what it was. And accepting that is more so than just letting your actions be what they are and remaining true to yourself and accountable to yourself. Right? Whenever you can say that you have been and are being accountable to your very own self and what you know that you want for your own quality of experience. And that means, of course, what it is that you're involving your time and energy with, as well as the condition of your heart, okay, and the quality and authenticity of your soul and your mind, you know what I'm saying, and your character, you know what I'm saying, what you think of yourself. If you can do something, if you can continue to do whatever, and it feeds and it's nourishing you, and not just feeding you, right? Because you can get, like I said, you can get that rush, you can get a high, you can chase that thrill, but how are you growing? Okay, as far as like, and when growth means change, and change means challenge. You know what I mean? Now, with this challenge, if you're not expanding, you know what I mean? If you're not inventing and innovating and realizing, right? Answers to questions that you have, the largest questions, firstly, then you gotta adjust your protocol, adjust your operation. Because everybody got questions, right? Now you can say that you can accept that you can't answer whatever question, right? But that doesn't mean that you don't still have that question. It's just that you're ignoring the answer, or you're accepting an answer that's not an answer. Right? Now, you could say the answer is whatever else, but just always be building on that. If you're moving away from that, and now also answering lesser questions with your acceptance of this particular answer, this first larger answer, then that's going to have its own structure to it too, that you're going to be able to recognize, and you're also going to associate your very feelings with, your very instinct with, right? Your intuition. Your instinct is one thing, right? Your instinct is what's going to tell you, okay, I can get away with this, right? Your instinct is going to tell you, okay, well, shit, like I said, this is advantageous in this particular situation. But your intuition is going to say, yeah, but that probably is going to not stop there, right? I'm always have to be doing some other shit that I wouldn't maybe naturally do as far as instinct is concerned, right? Because you got inclination, you got impulse, and then you got instinct, right? But your impulse is not your instinct. Right? Your instinct is going to be what you've learned to do, right? Right, it's within you, right? Your natural instinct, yes, but that's why you have the word natural in front of instinct as opposed to just your instinct, right? Because you got your natural instinct, which is more linked to your impulse and intuition, or rather, it's actually going to involve your instinct and your impulse and intuition. But then you could be trained. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. As far as your potential is concerned, there's no limits to your capacity and capability. You know what I mean? Even instinct-wise, right? You unlock different instincts that you didn't even realize that you had, just involving yourself with different challenging scenarios. You know? But that's all going to be contingent upon how closely connected to your source self that you are, right? And how purely authentic your technique of living is, right? Your method of achievement, right, is. What I say, how purely authentic your method of achievement is, as opposed to you teaching yourself how to do what it is that you set an objective towards, as opposed to learning whoever else structure to your shit. Right? You can see the elements necessary, the necessary requirements to this conventional success, or conventional, I guess you could say, not operation or achievement, but accomplishment, right? Because you got achievement and you got accomplishment. And when I said achievement, I meant to say accomplish. Because you want to be accomplishing, right? To achieve is always involving whatever else also. You know what I mean? Achievement is accomplishment is achievement. But what are you accomplishing in your achievements? You know what I'm saying? You can achieve whatever, but what are you accomplishing in an overall sense, right? To accomplish, right, it's now applying, right? It's now inserting all the different fucking parts of yourself, yes? All the different components that make you in the various as well as assorted applicable areas. That's accomplishment. You know what I mean? A lot of times we have to compromise those components of ourselves in the interest of achieving things, right? And that always involves accomplishments, right? Because like I said, there's various and assorted applications to those different components, or that, you know what I mean, to those different components of yourself. But are you limiting yourself, right? Or are you expanding, right? In ways that you can't even control, that you can't even predict or expect, or chase, or achieve, right? It's always a ongoing growth as well as elevation that you are accomplishing, right? But achievement is limited. Accomplishment is continual. You know what I'm saying? That's the literal nigga, the very nigga, exact nigga definition of achievement. Nigga. It ends with your finishing it. Nigga, when you're accomplishing something, it is accomplished. They say mission accomplished, right? I mean, it really is no difference. I'm just giving you a contrast, basically. You know what I mean? A dichotomy. I'm not trying to like argue what's better or worse. I'm saying how it applies, you know, as far as terms are concerned. Because it's two different terms, and they both have a root word in them. accomplish. Plish is actually the root of accomplishment, because com is a prefix as well as ac is a prefix. Accomplish got two prefixes on it. Okay, now achievement, achieve is the root word of ac. So this the same first prefix, which is ac, achievement, and then you got accomplishment. Now, accomplish is a word in itself, but it's made up of two parts of that same word, right? Now, that very etymology of these sounds, nigga, is going to tell you the difference in what the fuck I'm saying to you. Right? I don't have to make up the difference. There's already a difference in that it's not the exact same word. Love is love, no. Care is care, though, yes, but that's still love, no. Well, so it's a different type of love, though. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, truth is truth, no? Reality is reality, though. You know what I'm saying? Facts are facts, huh? What is the difference between all the shit I'm saying to you? The only thing that's different is the sound and how it applies the different components. Okay? So I say that to say what? As far as what's necessary, that's for whoever else is going to agree to that. Okay? Now, at this point, there's been a fucking veil, okay? There's a straight up veil over the perception of the planet. Now, you have to ask yourself, why is this? You don't have to ask yourself why. You can always just go and get money, fuck bitches. That's always going to be fun, but you can also ask yourself why and still do that, though. Why would you not ask why, too? Because your ass as a whole is why. And your ass is a straight-up component being applied, in particular, limited as applications. Right? Because, like I said, you're going to have that question, no? You should, you know what I mean? You're going to be, the main question is going to be is, why are we here? What's the point? And you may not care, but it's a reason why you don't care. And it's a reason you don't care. And it's a reason you're ignoring the reason, as opposed to, nigga, correcting the reason why you don't care. Because you do care, right? You have to care to even not care. Right? Because life is going to bring it to you. Life is going to bring it up to you. It's not you going to be sitting up wondering. You'll start wondering until the question come to you. Trust me, nigga, I don't give a fuck about nothing. I never had to give a fuck about nothing. Why? Because niggas ain't gave a fuck about me. Right? Not to say that I feel like I got daddy issues. That's just something that was a reality in my life. That's just something that's an element that just was the situation. That's something I had to answer for myself. It's not a situation to me. I don't need nobody else, okay? Ever. Right? But that don't change the fact that I still came from out of two people. Right? So the question come up is, right, like, okay, what was I saying about Pops and nigga not wanting you? Oh, damn, God, I totally forgot. As far as what now? I said what now? Because a nigga say what now? What's the purpose of life and shit? Or why does it matter? I never had to ask. I don't never give a fuck. Oh, because niggas only be giving a fuck. That's not why I didn't give a fuck. But I didn't give a fuck because I could see that you'll have a choice to give a fuck or not give a fuck. And to me, it was just natural for me not to give a fuck. It's more niggas not giving fucks around me than giving fucks. Right? You know what I mean? I'm a cold ass nigga anyway. I'm a type of nigga that cannot love. Okay? That's something that I have to accept. That's what most real niggas accept. That you cannot love. Love is a trap. Okay? Now, just know that, you know what I mean? That's how you gonna get the hunters, niggas, by acting like your ass is trapped as a predator. You know what I mean? You can't be no fucking forager, you gotta be a predator, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't be no woodland creature. You gotta be a jungle monster, nigga. Right? So your hunter is gonna, first of all, if they're using traps, they really the prey anyway. When you're a monster, you know what I'm saying? You could pretend like you trapped, but that's for only, it's only gonna be effective only so many times, you know. And what's cold is it's always dangerous because they can, you know, they can take you out, finish you off from far. If you allow yourself to be concentrated in any one area, trying to draw them out. But that's just you, though. You know what I mean? You're never alone. As you know what I mean? As a real monster, right? Because monsters don't prey on each other, right? They hunt in packs, okay? And even if not, they always eat together. Now you got these trappers, right? Right, yeah, no, because you know, it is all part of the big game that is this veil. I'm telling you about this game, I'm telling you about this veil because it's going on and it's misleading. You know what I mean? But why the fuck you being led? You're supposed to be, nigga, you're supposed to be self-sufficient. You're supposed to be self-efficient, you know, self-dependent. Why the fuck you looking for leaders? You must not be a monster. You know what I mean? You got the nomad lions, you know what I'm saying? You got, you know, you got the silverback gorillas. Each silverback gorilla, nigga, is the leader, is the leader, but at the same time, it's like, it's not necessarily he's the leader, he's just, you know what I'm saying, the first, you know what I mean, you know, I don't know, it's like, you ain't supposed to be you ain't supposed to be able to be misled. You ain't supposed to be able to be misled, to be honest, right? You're supposed to be making your own decision, making your own choices, and working whatever operation towards your intended goal. You know, as far as instruction, as far as guidance, as far as reference, that's different. That's not being led. You lead yourself. You would have to lead yourself to follow whoever else. It's all coming down to your own application, to your own accomplishment. You know, as far as though this trap that love is, that's not the way it's designed to be, and that's why it is I'm even mentioning to you about the scenario, about how it is that you can seem to be trapped to draw out whoever's laying these fucking traps, right? Because that's the point, and that's the real war. They say love is war, no? But that's not the way that it's designed to be, right? First of all. So you draw them motherfuckers out, you know what I mean? And then you and your monsters feast on these niggas, right? Until you can find the traps, right? You know what I mean? But there's still traps even without these trappers, without these supposed hunters, because you got predators and you got hunters. You know what I mean? And you got hunters, nigga, hunt the predators. You know what I mean? Right, like this motherfucker, whatever this big ass beast is, fucking eat your ass, but you want to use these conventional, limited ass, unnatural components, right, against this majestic creature, you know what I mean, that you couldn't beat no other way. And if you could, then it'd be different. You know what I mean? Face to face, you ain't finna beat no big ass bear, nigga. But you want to use a bullet? That's unfair in itself. That's that unnecessary shit that I'm talking about. Ain't no place for that. You get what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Like, if you want to eat, then this is shit for you to eat. To where you don't have to take out no larger, right, component of a fuller system. You know what I mean? Whoever made that bear to protect your ass, right? From other fucking creatures that's gonna be coming at you. Right? If there's no other bears to come at them. Right? Or whatever. For whatever reason it's made. It ain't for you to say. Right? You could try to say because you was a man and you can. Just because you can don't mean that you should. And if you do, then that's a setting in motion a whole nother effect. But what was I saying though about fucking not giving a fuck? Yeah, you gotta either give a fuck or not though. You know what I mean? And being that I did not give a fuck and I don't be giving no fucks, I'm able to see what it is best to concern myself with. You know, as opposed to, oh, this means so much to me. This means so much to me. What the fuck? Well, first of all, if you let anything mean anything to you, i.e., loving it or being loved by it, yes. Because if it means something to you and you don't love it, then what is it that you love? And how complete is that? First of all, right? You gotta be realistic. You can be out here faking. But I'm not talking to niggas out here satisfied with faking all day, right? Because even as a youth, you grow up, you start to see, okay, what is what? You know what I mean? And what is complete as far as that's going to change and remain reliable. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when it comes down to it, your first association is gonna be people, but that shouldn't be the case because you should already know that you in fucking danger, nigga. And if somebody done let your ass believe that you not in danger, nigga, around whoever people, nigga, then it's a reason for that, as you will come to see. God willing, you live long enough. Because a motherfucker will sit up and wait till your ass is 70 years old. Lying to your face the whole time and shit. Letting you believe they love you, but they can't love you because they live in a loveless ass environment. Right? I mean, not to say that they don't, but it's not complete. And so anything that's not complete ain't real. It could be almost some love. Everything is love anyway, so don't make much of a difference unless that is something that you emphasize, in which that's what we see as being emphasized. So if you're gonna emphasize anything about it, we want to approach it purely and not taintedly. You don't want to approach it with the idea that it's only so far that it can go. That's what I'm saying. Right? I mean, if you're going to approach it at all, if you're going to emphasize any part of it, as far as what should be and what's fair, nigga, what the fuck you mean what's fair? Fuck you mean what's fair, yo? What's fair is, nigga, freedom, nigga. Firstly, nigga, that's what's fair. And if you feel like that's not possible for every man, then fuck you. Because that's what you saying to every other person. It's fuck you. We live in this world where the shit is whack. Nigga, maybe you do. That's not what we want to keep having the situation have to be, though. That's not what we want to keep having the situation needing to have to be, though. So what the fuck is what really is this conversation? What really is your statement you're making? Other than fuck you. I'm in pain. My love ain't complete. Yeah, nobody love complete. That's the point. And if it is, then you would be moving towards changing, towards accomplishment, towards growth, towards evolution. Like you see it's done, but what make whoever else different? Like you see it's possible for particular persons, or maybe you don't see that. But if you don't see that, right, and you feeling like your love is complete, then that's another element in itself. Because why would you even be thinking about that past the point of doing whatever is best to do about it? Right? Because life gonna bring you the question. Well, why would you? Because you have accepted an answer for the question that's not an answer, or you're ignoring the question. Right? You're resenting the fact that you have to do something to answer your motherfucking question. Because deep down, even if you accept an answer that's not an answer, you know in your soul you still ain't did this to know for sure if what it is that you accepted or expected, you should be expecting or should be accepting. And that ain't nobody else's fault but your ass. Right? But you making it their problem though. Right? By doing anything after that point, right? It may not be so drastic, but you don't know, right? Because it's a fuller fucking matrix, nigga. A net, a straight up web of love, nigga. Homie. So you don't really know. You can't really say. Just like you ain't said for yourself yet. So you can't say nothing for shit fucking else, nigga. You can't take another step. You shouldn't take another fucking breath, nigga. Don't take your ass to work tomorrow, nigga. You better answer your question as to what it is so that you can move forward, nigga. In full faith, nigga. In full accomplishment, nigga. On your path, nigga. With your purpose, nigga. In your fuller purpose, my nigga. Is the part. Ain't shit else to do here, bro. You can always do whatever else also. Right? But it's gonna come back around. Life's gonna bring you these other questions. You're gonna have to answer them based on your lack of answer. Right? Shit, it's not about having an answer. It's about knowing and being certain of your choice. Right? Because even if you're wrong, you'll be able to see that regardless. Right? It's ways to know. It's ways to know if you know or not. Right? And in knowing if you know or not, you're going to be able to see how to better know or not, and what it will take and what is possible. Now, that's going to show you what to change and what to keep the same. And that is a beautiful thrill to chase, if you ask me. How many drugs you want to take along the road? Just keep the full accomplished goal in mind, right? Because, yeah, we at war, nigga. We at war with ourselves. We at war with reality, nigga. we at war, nigga, with purpose, nigga, with the very meaning of existence, right? Right, because who gonna tell you that? Well, shit, it ain't for nobody else to tell you. It's just for you to have to not need to be subjected to defending every choice you make, every thought you have. That's not the way that it can even stay anyway. So what am I saying in that? So what am I saying in that? Well, shit, I mean, if it's not clear what I'm saying as to what it is for you to do yourself, whoever else you want to involve and include, then I'll break it down to you as far as what the fuller structure is, right? The more completer exchange as well as operation is for anybody that is a body or a person or a being. Yes. That is to figure it the fuck out, man. Whatever it is that you are unclear about. Okay? It's gonna be something. That ain't for me to tell you. It's different for different people, but it all leads back to that main thing, right? And you're gonna be bringing these different remnants, right? These different fucking fragments along with you, right? Because you got components, but it's different fragments to your components that you have to collect, right? And in collecting them, then you realize the reach of them, right? The different applicability of it, right? It's not even that they're apart, it's just that they are misarranged and dispersed, you know, but they're all connected either way. But it's like, you know, when you have, say for instance, wires, right? You got a cord, but a cord got mad wires within it, yes? I mean, a cord is like a tube of wires, okay? Say for instance, that cord is not wrapped well, it's not wrapped correctly. A wire, which it would be a component. Well, actually, the component is the wire itself, right? And these fragments would be the wires. The cord is the component. The wires is the fragments. Yes, the fragments. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, the fragments are all part of the component, but the component is part of the fuller you, like I said, right? The wire within this component is the fragment. It's never apart from the component, which would be the cord, but sometimes its function is not acknowledged or it's not considered. You know, even though without every one of them wires within that cord, the cord is not going to function as it should, right? Like that's what I mean as far as your components having different applicabilities, right? You know, it's more than one. It's more ways to do something. There's always another way to do the same thing. It's more ways to do one thing. But however way that it is that you're doing it in that particular moment or in that operation is another way that it's not being done, right? Unless it is that you're doing it universally, and in one way it is in any other way that it could be done, right? And that's a process in itself. That's a whole fucking, that's levels to that. And that's what I'm encouraging you to consider, to always be confirming for yourself as to how not to be wasting time, but also, nigga, making time, creating time. Yes, because you can always save the time to do things, but some things that you do don't only just save time, it replaces and reverses time, right? And that it's correcting and healing the time that's been spent within your own life, as well as the generations of lives on this planet doing less worthy shit. Yes, the more worthy it is, the more universally purposed it is. And that's how it makes it worthy. It ain't for nobody else to say how worthy it is. But what is the worth of it? What is the quality of it when I say the worth? Right? The very value of it. You know what I mean? And that's what it is that you have to come to grips with, come to terms with, that you have to be gung-ho about, that you have to be certain and genuine about, sincere about. You need to be genuine and sincere about it. And you know what I mean? Whoever else want to question you, that don't matter. Niggas can say what the fuck they want to say. What does it matter what another nigga say about you? Well, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't have no difference. Shouldn't make no difference what another nigga say about you, right? As far as your interaction with people, that's a whole nother situation. What they think about you, that's neither here nor there. I mean, it can lead to wherever. It's going to lead where it needs to, you know, but it's always going to return to where it belongs, is the part. As far as these components, and that cord being a component, and the wires being the fragments, and these fragments being where they are, and where they're going to be at until you have to now repair this cord because of whatever had happened with the, whatever, how it was structured, right? Or maintained or managed, yes, because you can not really use your cord. You can mismanage your cord, your component, and then this fragment can be forgotten or whatever, right? You can run into a problem with this particular fragment of your component that you got to repair if you want that component to function correctly. But even the cord is to another something, right? That has other fragments in that, whatever type of component it is, whether it be actual appliance, an electronic device, whatever it is. And that device in itself has got to be plugged up into a fucking source of power, yes, to make it work, with another cord which has wires in it, yes, which are the fragments of that component of that particular device. That component of the device is the core, but the device in itself got all sorts of other components in it, yes? All right, now, that fucking cord or wire, or really, it's really a cord, because a wire is a wire, but a cord is a cord, right? A cord is going to have wires in it. Now, that's going to go to a source of importance, right? A required, necessary element of its function, of its operation, which does not change, yes? However, now this is what I'm getting at, and this is why I'm even saying what I'm saying to you. That's all decided externally also, though. This example I'm giving you is decided externally. Now, we can develop this example as to what would be the contrasting comparison as to what is actually unchangeable, right? Or not necessarily unchangeable, but worthily permanent or decided, right? Decidedly worthy, basically, right? Because we using electricity to power these devices. When anything you can name that need electricity is probably fucking unnecessary. Anything you can name that even would need electricity, nigga, is probably fucking unnecessary, nigga. Right? You think about the first phones, they didn't need no fucking batteries for those, nigga. The very first phones didn't use no electricity, cuz. Right? Now, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think like what would be good to have that we can go, that probably would be better not to go without, that uses electricity. First thing I thought was a phone. I mean, we could say a TV, but we don't even need a TV for entertainment, nigga. A TV is based on theater and this stuff, nigga. Came from plays, nigga. Live shows, nigga. Live music, nigga. Alright? Now, it's more convenient, it's more compact, it's a lot faster, but it's very limited as far as the experience and the quality of the experience, to be honest. And it opens the gateway for this other type of in-between type of frivolous ass bullshit as well. If it's not managed correctly, yes, which is a lot easier. These wires within these components connected to these other components, nigga, are a lot more volatile, a lot more delicate, you know what I mean? But anyway, as far as electricity is concerned, then the example that I'm giving you as far as that source of power, that's actually not the actual source of power, right? That's not the source of power. That is an application of power or energy, basically, because power is power and energy is energy, right? Now, the application of energy is where you get quote-unquote power. But power, and this is why they say absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? It's always going to be able to be used both ways, is that power. Just like electricity can give you light, it can fucking take your fucking life from you, right? And it's not even necessary for light. Fire also can do the same thing, But you can put some fire out, nigga. You get stuck with a motherfucking electricity. That's gonna. It's not putting it out, nigga. Ain't no putting out no electricity, girl. Unless you got a grounding material like some wood and some plastic right next to you, and that's if you lucky, nigga. If you got that grounding material next to you, or you happen to have on some plastic shoes, that's the only thing that's gonna stop that electricity, and that's evident in itself. I mean, I don't know, I guess for what it is that I'm saying, enough, right? But I mean, as far as light is concerned, it's natural light, you know what I mean, already, you know what I'm saying? And as far as even solar power, that's not gonna kill you. Solar power ain't gonna kill you. I guess it could. It could be applied in a way to where it charges it up and magnifies them. But solar power too, to where to burn through your ass in a laser. I don't know. I'm sure that's a way to do that. But I don't know. It would have to take a lot of solar power for that, for sure. You would have to figure out another way that's gonna have another element in it, because the solar power in itself, for it to exert, for it to be emitted, it's now decaying, right? It doesn't like charge up. It doesn't like get stronger in its expression. And that's the whole point of what I'm even saying, even with energy, right? That's energy, but there's energy that is unlimited energy. Okay? Now, as far as what I'm saying to you, I'm just trying to present to you a vaster sort of perspective, so that you ain't making all these excuses as to what all you can do about some shit. So to justify what it is that you're not doing, instead of what it is that it is for your ass to actually do. And involving whoever the fuck else, as if everybody has made the same decision as you have. Because that's really what they're finding out through all of these fake ass connections, is who exactly is really ready, and who actually will be able to even be ready based on these traps that's set through this love. Right? So you got that plug going in that wall, right? That very electric structure, right? What is it called? The wires in the wires of electricity in your wall is connected. Those are different wires in itself. Those are different cords and different wires within them cords, my nigga. Right? So each one of them wires, each one of them cords, throughout the very electrical system of your house or whatever building you in, whatever room you happen to be in, using electricity, right? Because whatever got electricity, you got to charge it up. First of all, that's limited in itself, right? You got to recharge it every time, right? Lasts longer for some things, lasts leaster for other things. Those wires in itself is going to another system of wires and cords, right? And then that's going to where an electrical plant, a power plant. That power plant in itself, nigga, is creating waste for the earth. Mandatory, nigga. And that very necessariness is unnecessary to begin with. It's necessary to have power, but it's not necessary to have light and energy and use energy as power to pollute the earth simultaneously. And this has been known since before that shortcut was taken. So you ask yourself, how could that be? Why would anyone able-minded enough to implement a system of operation even be able to do it in a way that is actually not best? Shit, that's something you gotta answer that question. You gotta answer that question, right? Because every time you plug your shit up, you answering your question, or you ignoring the answer. Okay. Now, what can you do about it? Shit, that ain't for me to tell you either, right? Because every one of us can do something more and different about it. At least while we're not doing whatever else about it. Also, because that's the two sides of it, yes? Especially when it comes to power, right? Because what you want to be doing, it already has a power to it. Now it's a power that you're going to manage towards your benefit or towards the benefit of whatever or whoever else in a fuller spectrum, right? It's the only power that there is God. All is God, and God is power in itself, right? But how can you use God to do evil, right? And that's what I'm saying as far as this necessary evil. Yes, and unnecessary evil, right? No man, that's what we are here to do, because it's to prevent that very thing. Not prevent it, but protect it. That's what we are here to do, right? I mean, it's not supposed to be so far gone to the point to where it's all these different fragments, right? These forgotten fragments everywhere. But that has its own process of correction and reversal in itself. But what is it for us to here to do? What is it for us here to do? What is it here for us to do? Like I said, use power towards the glory of God, right? Prevent energy from becoming a tool or a weapon of corruption, of imbalance. Okay? Kind of like the ancients, right? Took in and made light, nigga, from gravity, nigga. Like we can make light, nigga, from gravity. We all could be having our own gravity lamps up in this bitch, homie. Literally. Whatever light you need, right? But you wouldn't be able to have no TV. You probably could run your TV, nigga, off of gravity electricity. But even electricity in itself is limiting yourself, right? I promise we need to get away from TVs. I love me a good show. I was just watching Godzilla. Them graphics is amazing, right? That's the trade-off, right? That's the trade-off to me. As far as, you know, to be doing whatever it is, also why it is that we're accepting whatever else too. I know it can seem to be an overwhelming idea, or rather concept. But before you allow yourself to become frustrated, right? To become, desperately distraught and depressed and covetous, right? Jealous, then you probably want to revert the energy into what it is that I'm saying to be doing in addition. And that is what? Answering your fucking questions is what? Collecting them fragments and your components of yourself, right? That you have to compromise in your efforts towards achievement, aside from accomplishment. Because what really are you accomplishing? Shit, nigga, I'm safe, I'm alive, nigga, successful. There's more to it than that, though. Apparently, yes. as to why they even say this other shit is even a factor. Because there's more to it than just that, no? I'm blessed. I'm serving God. That's the first only other thing to say. That's just the first thing, though. Right? I'm actualizing my destiny. Right? That's just the first step. Right? So it's like, it's not even so easy to get caught up in the mix. So if it is that you can't even say any of these things, then that's a choice that you've made. But ask yourself why you chose to make that choice. Why it is that you made the choice? Why should anybody care that you've made the choice? Because it affects them. Right? Even more so than it affects you. Why? Because what are you without anybody else? Right? And it's not for you to be able to even ever know either way until you do. And then when that day comes, then that's when you can ask yourself a different question. Right? And as far as what is said and what is accepted as the means to an explanation, that is already happening. Right? So makes it just that much more important to be operating in the most naturally sincere, genuine, and authentic way that you can see beneficial, that you can see universally. What was the word we was trying to look for? Loving, no? Or not. And even in not, it always is. But how are you seeing it?